Hi, my name is Patrick Diebold and welcome back to step 5 of the GDPR 5x5 minutes business hack for the SME. Today we will be leveraging the 4 steps you've already completed to publish your GDPR documents. But before we can publish those, we need to generate those. And the reason we generate the documents is to make sure that we can satisfy a key GDPR obligation, which is to inform all parties of the personal data you might be using. So using your customer dossier, we'll be generating your customer privacy policy. And using your staff dossier, we'll be generating a staff privacy policy. And leveraging all dossiers, including your third-party dossier, we will be generating your GDPR register. So what do we want you to do? Well, maybe have a final review of your dossiers on the GDPR Wise app, and I'll show you how to generate those documents with a single click. So back on the GDPRwise.eu app in your browser, and as mentioned, by all means, review your customer dossier, staff dossier, and third-party dossier, and then when you feel they accurately reflect how you operate, you can go to the GDPR documents screen to generate those GDPR documents. The first one for you to generate is your customer privacy policy. You see there's a big orange button ready for you. And each time you would make changes to the dossier that would impact your document, that button will reappear. By all means, click the button and the software is generating the documentation that you can subsequently download in a number of formats, and of course also preview, and it keeps track of all your previous versions. So when we preview, we will get to a screen where you even get a bit more information on what to do with that document, but that is also nicely explained in our knowledge base on GDPRwise.eu. But you can see here now the full document is generated with some inserts of your company, but equally the data items that form part of your different dossiers and any specific industry and country specific clauses. And so by all means, review that document. When you feel it closely aligns with the way you work, you should proceed. If you have any questions, either you make changes in your dossier or you contact us. At any point you can contact us via the button here below. So customer privacy policy, you can do the same for your staff privacy policy, and then make sure that is attached to any staff contracts, so your staff agrees with your privacy policy, and you also have your GDPR register you can generate here. There's a few more documents that you have access to on this page, but that will form part of a subsequent video. You see, that wasn't too difficult. When you start, of course, with a filled-in dossier specific to your industry. And so, just to wrap up, what do you need to do now with those documents you generated? Well, let's start with your customer privacy policy. Well, you want to make it available to your customers. And so, it's a good idea to have it on your website prominently. But also don't forget, each time you interact with customers, for instance via email, you might be sharing personal data. And so you always should reference your privacy policy. So have a standard email footer that references your privacy policy. Check out our knowledge base for email footer and you'll find an example text that you can copy and use. But equally in any other materials, if you would have a newsletter, you would have some marketing material, make sure you always reference your privacy policy. Because there's been fines before because they didn't reference the privacy policy. And so for your staff privacy policy, make sure you have it as part of your staff contract. So your staff can actually read it before they enter into a contract and then sign it as part of the agreement. And then you're covered, even when the relationship would break off. And there's a few other things that might be very useful to check. So do check out our knowledge base The item says, I completed my dossier, what's next? And you'll find lots of tips and pointers. Maybe one last item, make sure you keep your subscription up to date, because things change all the time. And we will inform you of those. If there's been a ruling, a case, a fine in your industry, and we can advise you on things to do or not to do, we'll do that through your subscription. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the series, and I hope you're in a far better place than you were 25 minutes ago. Thank you, and see you soon.